mystery is Christ in you, the hope of glory. Now, when it says Christ in you, sometimes you may think it's that Christ comes within you. But let's see, before thinking like that, let's look at Galatians chapter 4, verse 19. To see how Christ in us, what does that mean when Paul says Christ in you? Christ in you, the hope of glory. It says, my little children, for whom I labor in birth, again, until Christ is formed in you. For Christ to be formed in our lives, we have to hear the mysteries that were given to us, the Gentiles, because that is a knowledge. You serve Christ with the mind, and in your mind you begin to receive, I am perfect with one offering. I'm free from the devil. I am free from sin. I have a clean conscience. I've been chosen from before the foundation of the world. So that begins to form a character, a glory, forming a confession in you. And in that way, Christ is formed. That's why Paul suffered with Galatia, because he begun there, but when the apostles arrived, the enemies of the gospel of Christ, they obstructed the growth in that church. Because the works, the fasting, those things the Protestants practice, instead of forming Christ in you, they remove Christ from you. It is to say, this religious system that we are inviting to come into this kingdom, those are believers that Christ is not forming. They serve God with their own emotions, with their own minds. That's why in their services, their hair stand up, they jump, they hop, they dance, they dream, they have vision, all kind of stuff, because that is the carnal mind. And remember that one of the attributes of the flesh is witchery. In those churches, Pentecostals, Protestant, Catholic churches, that's full of witchery, because with the carnal mind, how could you expect to serve Christ? First, you have to form Christ in your mind. Place the gospel of grace in you. Then they will render a proper service unto God. Christ has to be formed in you. Now, once Christ is formed in you, look at what happens to your physical body. Your physical body, it's part of his body. Look at what Ephesians chapter 5, verse 29 and 30 says. Look at this marvelous verse. For no one ever hates his own flesh, but nourishes and cherishes it, just as the Lord has his body. For we are members of his body and his flesh and his bones. It is to say that when the Apostle Paul says there in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 10, and we should read that because everything we teach here is based on the 14 epistles of the Apostle Paul, which is the mystery. There are people that criticize us that we don't read the whole Bible. No, we read the whole Bible, but the mystery is hidden in those 14 epistles, and we prefer the mystery. That is why Paul says men should have us as administrators of mystery. If your pastor, your church, your congregation is not preaching mystery, they're wasting time. Look at what it says. We always carry around in our body the death of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may also be manifest, not in your spirit, in our bodies. You must understand that. The more Christ is formed in you, more probability is that you walk in healing